Where's the breaking point? When the oppressed rise, what does faith require? I didn't watch the vote. I didn't have to. Trump's budget passed the House again, not on a party line as much as on a morality line. One side with morals, the other without one. And just like that, more funding for the machinery of deportation, detention, and domestic war. While 2 Israeli embassy staff were assassinated in Washington, D.C., and Palestinian citizens are exterminated daily in Gaza. While the right-wing engine of propaganda churns and grooms the next generation of hate, and social media platforms like this one promote the hate and ban those who oppose it. I stopped watching the news a while ago. Now I just catch it in shrapnel form. Clips on social media, grief in DMs, fear in the pews, conversations overheard at gas pumps and in grocery lines. And I find myself asking the question I'm not supposed to ask. Where's the breaking point? When do the ones this empire is crushing rise up? Do they? Will they? Let's be clear. This administration has crossed moral lines repeatedly with glee. Mass deportations to nations in collapse, paid for by American tax dollars. Surveillance and targeting of sanctuary congregations. Legalized theft from the poor to enrich defense contractors and oligarchs. Silencing scientists, sacking libraries, stripping civil servants of conscience. Elevating white Christian nationalism to the level of civic religion. And I'm supposed to respond with civility, pray quietly, and carry a beige banner? No. I'm done playing nice for those who play dirty with people's lives. Even Jesus had his limits. What does Scripture tell us? Exodus says the oppressed cried out and God heard them. Liberation didn't start with swords, it started with holy disobedience. The prophets didn't whisper, they roared. Micah warned the rich, Amos warned the priests, Isaiah told the empire to beat their swords into plowshares and never looked back. And then there's Jesus, not the sanitized one, the real one. The one who flipped tables, crossed borders, exposed hypocrisy. The one who never told the abused to just wait and pray. The one who said, I did not come to bring peace but a sword. Not of violence, but of division between truth and lie, between God's kingdom and Caesar's machine. He didn't reform Rome. He birthed a revolution in the margins. And we're still living it, or we're supposed to be. And just to be clear, don't forget Revelation. Revelation, so often abused by extremists, is at its heart a protest text written to oppressed churches under imperial rule. Its coded language isn't a fortune cookie for end times, but a defiant reminder that the empire does not get the last word. The Lamb who was slain does. This isn't just Christian either. Judaism teaches tikkun olam, repairing the world through justice. Islam calls us to stand for the oppressed, even against our own tribe. Buddhism insists on right action, even when silence would be easier. Sikhism honors the warrior saint, protecting the vulnerable. Taoism reminds us when force comes, yield like water, then flood. And from the scientific community, we hear it too. Alt National Park Service has been holding vigil through climate collapse and corruption ever since Trump 1.0. Now, whispers of Alt Doge, civil servants seeking a secure node to speak truth again. Not all prophets wear robes. Some wear lab coats or work anonymous Twitter handles in basements and back rooms, preserving the last scraps of truth from being algorithmically incinerated. So do the oppressed rise? They have, they are, and they will. Maybe not with bombs and barricades. Maybe with bread shared across border walls, with hidden Wi-Fi signals, with refusal to comply, with shelter offered when ICE goes hunting, with love that outlasts the death dealers. This is resurrection, not metaphor, movement. The question isn't whether the breaking point comes, it's whether we're ready to rise when it does. As for me, I'm tired of being a good little pastor, waiting for someone to decide whether my congregation has symbionts, holding my tongue for the sake of the 99 rather than standing up for the one. I won't scuff the line anymore. I'll step across it and dare others to follow, not with hate, but with fierce love, with sacred clarity, with the unbreakable, untamable fire of Christ and every one of my ancestors who resisted empire. I will speak the names of those who push oppression. Trump, Miller, Green, Vance, Vaught, Musk, Bondi, Noem, DeSantis, Jordan, Youngkin, Burchett, Blackburn, Haggerty, Lee, Sexton, Bulso, Falwell's ghost, Graham's grandson, and all the rest. Not to curse them, but to call them out of hiding. Because our call is clear. Let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. And the stream doesn't wait for permission. We rise now, or we keep falling. And as for me and my house, we're going to raise some holy hell until heaven breaks through. You wanted civility. I was sent to speak resurrection. If you're done being polite while people perish, you're not alone. There's room at this table for rebels of peace and prophets of justice. Come, rise. The breaking point is calling. Have a blessed day.